folks, I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2020 Mallard M25. This is a rear kitchen layout with a super slide, and the sofa is directly across from the TV. Speaking of the TV, let's actually start on that entertainment area. So as you can see, the TV is on a lift, so that way it just pops right up, or you can drop it down if you're not using it, and then you have a great view out to your campsite. All the connections for it are on the wall right next to it, as well as the control for the TV lift. And then underneath is your Multimedia Center. That unit controls your speakers in here as well as outside. It is Bluetooth capable and it's a DVD player. You'll see storage to this side as well as a tiny bit of storage right down below. If we take a look to this side here, open that up, you will see a versatile storage area. The reason I say that is because you have shelves, but they are removable, and then you have the hanging rod up top. So based on if you need more pantry space or more hanging space or just space for towels, clothes, whatever else, you have the ability to kind of customize it to what you want. Directly underneath is a central vac that you will find in Mallards, and this is a great thing to have because that way you don't have to bring your upright vacuum. Just take a hose, plug it in, you can vacuum up your camper, keep everything nice and clean. On the wall here, you will see your super slide out control, as well as the thermostat, which controls both the ducted AC and the heat. And then your tank monitoring panel is there too. One thing that is worth noting is the water heater. If you take a look, you will see this one runs off both propane and electric on the water heater. You can turn both of those on at the same time for faster recovery. Right over to this side, you have a little bit more extra storage there, so some decent storage when you walk in. You know, in all honesty, it's not a bad place for like some shoes, things like that, just because of the proximity to the entryway. Some of your light controls are right here, as is the control for your power awning. As I mentioned, this is a rear kitchen layout, so you will see the Dometic fridge freezer unit. We'll open that up so you can take a look in there. A little bit different handles on these Dometic units, you know, something a little bit newer for 2020. See, you just kind of, rather than having the ones where you put your finger in and push on the thumb, these ones you just kind of pull the handle and you can see it pushes in right there. That way you can open it up. Very simple and easy to use. We take a look at the kitchen itself. You'll notice that both the cooktop here is recessed with a cover, and then the sink has a cover on it as well. That way you can utilize all of that as prep space. When I fold this up and back, this also doubles as a backsplash. You'll see the 3 burners there. The knobs light up on the Furion cooktop, and underneath is the oven if you want to do some baking. Underneath the oven, you have a drop-down compartment. You can see it's decent storage for some additional pots and pans, as well as right over to this side here. I personally would probably put a trash can in there, but again, if you need to use it for pots and pans storage, you can. A bank of 3 drawers, full extension ball bearing drawers there, so you have plenty of room for your flatware, anything else you need to store. And as I mentioned, your sink does have sink top covers. That way you can utilize that as prep space, flip them over, you can use them as cutting boards. And when I take them both off, you'll see your sink. Larger bowl on the left, smaller on the right, and the high-rise pull-out faucet. You'll notice the electrical outlet there in the corner, which is a great spot for it. That way you can put a coffee maker right here. If you need to plug in like a blender, toaster, something like that, you have the capability to do that. The hood directly above the cooktop, microwave, and then storage all the way across the top here. Now, if you take a look at the off-door side, this is the super slide. So, starting off on the sofa, this is extremely comfortable. You don't have an armrest in the center, which is unfortunate, but you know, if you get like a throw pillow or something, you can make that work. It does have the side armrest built in though, which is great. And this is directly across from the TV, folks. So it's a great spot to be able to sit, relax, and hang out. Plus, this is a tri-fold sofa. So if you take a look at the back cushion right here, this is what your guests will actually get to sleep on. So that way, you know, they don't have a bar in the back or an air mattress that's going to deflate on them. It's fairly comfortable. And you can sleep 2 adult guests there. So, you know, if you have friends that want to come and stay the night, you're able to accommodate them. You will see storage across the top. You have the decorative glass on here. When I open that up, you will notice that the storage does have the strut on the door, so it's easy one-hand access. And you have a light in there as well, which kind of illuminates the glass as well as any other items that are in there if you're looking for items at night. You have the farm style lighting here, you know, great look, again, kind of following that residential trend. windows all the way around. Your dinette is very sturdy. You can see here, if I shake it, it doesn't really move. I know a lot of people see this leg style and they think that, you know, automatically it's cheap. And while it's not as aesthetically pleasing as having your, you know, your flanges with the poles, the thing I like about this is the fact that it is a lot more sturdy. So you can put weight on it, you know, and it's not going to have food falling all over. You're not going to have the table flip over on you, anything like that. And it still does drop down into a sleeping space. Opening up the doors underneath, you will see easy access storage there. And right over here is the bathroom. Come on in with me. You'll notice the mirrored medicine cabinet right up top, storage in there. Underneath is your sink top and vanity, decent countertop space over to the side, electrical outlet if you need to plug anything in, cubby hole underneath, and then a tiny bit of storage there as well. As for the toilet, so I'm 6 foot tall. You can see I have plenty of leg room here, good space in the shoulders. You know, I may rub a tiny bit on the left, but realistically it is excellent space. And then over in the corners, the neo-angle shower. I'll sneak in here a second. So you'll see that this has the doors in the roller track, which is great because when you're done showering and you open it up, all the water goes right down the door into the shower pan, unlike a curtain, which a lot of times will, when the water will end up on your floor. Again, I'm 6 foot tall. With that skylight, I have plenty of space. I could probably be 6'3", maybe even 6'4" in here and still be able to shower without ducking down. Shelf in the back, hand wand there too. And you'll also see over in the corner, you have like this little storage area, which kind of makes a pseudo linen closet, perfect for towels, washcloths, and maybe even a trash can right down underneath. The bedroom features a queen size bed with storage underneath. You can see that. You'll also see the hose kit there for your central vac. You have nightstands on both sides with cubby holes and an electrical outlet. That way you can charge cell phones, or if you have a CPAP machine, you can plug that in as well. Right up top, you will notice the mirrored wardrobe with the hanging rod, additional storage going across the top that is quite deep. You'll see the headboard kind of has like a shiplap look to it with a couple LED lights for reading. You have a slider door rather than a curtain, so you get a little more privacy if you do have guests staying out in the living area. And you also have a secondary entrance and exit. So that way, again, if you have additional guests and you wake up before them or go to bed after them, you aren't disturbing them by walking right past them. You'll also see that if you want a TV in the bedroom, there is a backer here in the wall, and the connections for that are right underneath it. Now that we've seen the inside, let's go over some of the outside features on the 2020 Mallard M25. Right up front, you'll see your two 20-pound propane tanks with a cover, and behind that, you have rails for your battery. You'll also see right over on this side there, you have solar prep. So if you want solar, simply buy the portable panels, plug it in right there, and it will trickle charge your battery. You'll notice right down here, this one does have a fully enclosed, insulated, and heated underbelly, which will help keep things a little bit warmer in the colder season. Coming up the front is diamond plating that'll help protect that front end from rocks and debris that may get thrown up by your tow vehicle. And right above that is the gorgeous front cap. I love having front caps on travel trailers for several reasons. As far as insulation, it gives it a more complete look. It's easier to clean, but the biggest part of it is it helps prevent water penetration. Instead of having this seal right here on this seam where water's gonna beat on it as you're driving down the road in rain, instead it comes completely over. That way the rainwater would actually have to get in here through the silicone, up, back, and around, and into the RV, which more than likely is just not going to happen. If we take a look at the pass-through, you'll see it has a covered hinge, so you don't have a bunch of rust coming down your door. It's also slam latch, and it's a heavy-duty slam latch. Nice heavy door on there, metal components, and it's magnetic, so it sticks up just like that. When we look inside the pass-through, you will notice it is very large, especially this side. You have the big door on here for your larger items, a little bit smaller on the other side there. Completely finished off. You don't have any exposed aluminum, which is great. Lights on both sides, and you have your controls for your power stabilizer jack. So one control there will operate the front two, the other one will operate the rear two. Bear in mind that it's not an auto level. You still want to level the RV out using blocks, but once it's level, you can lower down your stabilizer jacks, and that will help prevent your coach from rocking around as you're moving inside. As I also mentioned, this one has 2 entrances. This is the secondary entrance into the master bedroom. The primary entrance is in the back. This one has your standard triple fold-out step here with your grab handle. It also does not have a window on there because it is in the bedroom, and so that way you have a little more privacy. You will see the power awning spans pretty much the entire length of this RV, which is great. Touch a button to roll that out. Same thing to have it go right back in. Another thing you will notice, folks, is this entire space underneath the awning from this back door all the way to the front of the awning. There aren't any vents or anything on this side, meaning this is all great usable camp space. You can set up your chairs and everything here. You don't have a bunch of vents blowing on your neck. This awning does have an LED light strip, so you have light at night, and you also have outside speakers, one right here in the center, the other one is toward the back. Those are connected to that Multimedia Center inside, but it is Bluetooth capable. That way you can be out here, use your phone to control your music, maybe listen to music while you're outside. Electrical outlet right out here in case you need to plug anything in. And if we take a look down at the wheels, you will see aluminum alloy wheels on here, which not only look great now, but will continue to do so because aluminum doesn't rust. Also, you'll see how spread apart they are. They use the wide track suspension, which is a spread axle system. And the benefit to you is the fact that it has less sway when going down the road because you have that wider wheelbase. In the very back is the primary entrance, and as I mentioned, this is your, because it's the primary entrance rather, it has the upgraded steps. This is the MORride step above step system. Aluminum treads so they don't rust, also the grip tape so you have some extra traction in case it is wet. And you can see here I'm over 200 pounds. I can hop up and down on these steps, and folks, they hardly flex. You don't get that springboard effect, which is great. There is a grab handle here as well. I do wish that it was a little bit larger. I'd like to see the large foldable grab handle just because it makes it a little bit easier to grab on that first step if you have, bad knees, but it is still very workable. But coming around to the back, right down underneath, there is a propane quick connect. So if you have a grill or something you want to hook up, you can absolutely do that. So it feeds off the 2 20-pound bottles up front. And right back here's a square tubular bumper with end caps. Pop that end cap off, you can store your sewer hose right in there. That way it's not riding around with everything up in your pass-through storage. Mounted to that is your spare tires. It's probably one of the easiest places to get to it, right back here on the bumper. Outside shower with hot and cold water access is on the back of the RV, which again is generally more convenient, easier to access than the off-camp side. You will also see the city water inlet located there, and then directly underneath that is the black tank flush. So rather than sticking a hose down your toilet to wash out your black tank, take that hose, hook it up right there. There's sprayers built into that black tank, and it will wash it out for you. Coming around to the off-door side here, you will see the cable inlet. Right underneath that is your 30-amp power inlet. Last thing I want to touch on is on the off-door side, right up front is your potable water inlet. So if you're going somewhere you don't have city water, you want to make sure you fill your fresh water tank, this will be the place to do it. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2020 Mallard M25. If you're interested in this travel trailer and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.